going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, these days, thems, it's I don't know. All those weird ones. I don't quite understand it. Anyways, what's going on, everybody? How's it going? Everybody doing good? I'm doing fantastic. Not too fantastic, but I'm getting there. Anyways, I'm your boy Knight. The lovely gentleman or that way. He's that way now. Hey, him. That guy right there that's messing with his camera and you're gonna
Ah.
get let him know that he's got some golds in the mine. All right.
Mhm.
Bats in the bat cave. All right. You
I
guys all
am.
know you guys all know Daddy Bro 72. He's doing fantastic too, it looks like.
Stop it.
Yeah. Fabulous. Anyways,
Oh my
and then
god.
and then we have the new kid on the block that side. I got
New kid. What?
the new kid on the block. No, I mean he's been here for the past two sessions.
No, I mean,
but,
does he even know what New Kids on the Block is?
that's the question.
If you're making movie references, they're gonna fly right over my
See,
head.
no,
I am
it's
like,
not even a movie
It's not a
reference.
movie reference.
I don't-
New
like, I
Kids
don't
on the
get
Block was a band, and it was a boy band in the '90s,
Yeah, like the
and
first.
they were pretty atrocious.
Yeah,
be
it's
honest.
the first gay boy band, and
They weren't gay.
Oh my
Don't be like that.
anyways, so I mean, where do you think Boy George came from? Come on now.
Not from them.
I know. I
Boy
know.
George was way before that. What the hell are you talking about?
I know.
Oh
I
my
know. I just
God.
had to anyways.
Silly
But
rabbit.
yeah, we got Lucian here again tonight. He's in for a treat, I think.
Sucker. I mean,
Yeah.
yay.
Yeah, I got tricked
Yay.
into doing it again.
Oh, hold on. I got something for you. Are you ready for this?
Oh, here it comes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yay! That's right. Everybody's cheering for this. So, anyways,
Makes me look bald. I love it.
if you guys are watching, which does look like there are two of you,
One,
the wonderful two,
two.
definitely get in that chat and interact with us, ask us questions, talk to us,
What the?
say hi. Just say hi, and
Oh my
and
God.
tell Daddy Bro 72 to quit blinking in and out of existence.
I don't know
we
what
need
is wrong
you.
with my
We
shit.
need you to stop messing with the fabric of reality here.
You just wait.
That was a good one. Dude, if you could do all these voiceovers, that'd be fantastic.
What? You just want me to do all of the voice lines?
Yeah,
Just the strangest voices I can
yeah,
think of.
just do them all. Oh goodness. So, anyways, a couple pretty big events happened this week. Definitely the Doge team talking with Brett Baer. That was a really good one. And then, of course, we also have number 46 talking about how he could have still beat Donald Trump if his party wouldn't have kicked him out, essentially.
Did he really?
Yeah, he really said that, but I think he forgets that he's not president anymore.
Well, he is an Alzheimer's patient somewhere, isn't he?
You know, he wakes up three times a night to take a piss and only gets up for two of them.
Right?
So, you know,
Did he say that right after he asked for a pudding pop?
Yeah, probably.
Where's my pudding?
Yeah, and talking about how he was going to get vanilla ice cream later.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
I mean,
Come on, Billy, kill Grandpa.
Come here, let me smell your hair.
The sniffer.
That's what she said.
Cardinal Vigal sniffer.
Oh goodness,
dude! I would do my Cartman impersonation, but I don't want to get in trouble for doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I actually sound exactly like him. It's pretty scary. I don't want.
You can't get in trouble for parody.
You can't.
I don't think you can.
No, I don't think you can.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I might have to do it later.
Okay, the way you're saying it, yes, but
it's slightly possible now.
Listen. If I just want to bash people with money, I can do that.
Oh man. So
let's take a try.
Yeah, right. So a couple things really quick. I'm going to talk about this one thing first. So tomorrow we are going to go live from my mini war. It's a game shop in Plano, Texas. Um, and we're going to be doing a little bit of Twilight 2000. It's a tabletop role playing game. Never played it in my life. Don't know much about it. Apparently, it's very in depth and stuff. So I'm excited. Don't get me wrong, but I have a feeling it's going to take me like 2 hours just to build a character, which I hate. Where with
Oh, is that
D&D,
the one that's like the super long character build bullshit that Chris that he was talking about?
yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah, it's one of those.
That's a throat punch waiting to happen.
All right, I feel like
Don't get me wrong. I love tabletop stuff, but if it's gonna take me 2.5 or 3 hours to build my character, no.
Yeah, right. So there's that, and then what else do we have going on? Um, yeah, I don't think I have much else outside of that. Like, I know that we're going to be doing that tomorrow, so I'm excited. Quit messaging. We saw it the first time. We're already live. Anyways, what else? What else is going on? Oh. So we are. There's a couple things in the works that I talked about last week about getting the food truck and everything like that. We are in the process where it's getting started.
Nice.
I'm excited.
What are you gonna be making?
Ooh.
Gourmet grilled cheeses and hamburgers.
That's hot.
Yeah, right.
I'm
I mean,
digging it.
believe it or not, like it's probably it sounds very simplistic and probably like, oh, it's totally overrated. No, when you get drunk, pay attention to
I don't
yourself.
know nothing about getting drunk.
Yeah, when you get drunk, pay attention.
Just Daddy Boy and I over here, Daddy Bro over here are just like innocent. Like we never
No,
been there in our
I
lives.
seriously
Right?
can't
Come
get
on.
drunk because I got to take care of my wife.
Well,
I haven't had a
it's
drink in over 2 years. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Sobriety sucks.
not that bad.
Yeah, it is. I got to deal with these liberal douchebags.
now let's get in.
That's
Now
because
let's get into it. The Golden
you're
Gate has been
literally-
opened.
You're you like
Nom, 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 nom.
you purposely like
No,
expose yourself to
you-
by being on social media. Like you're not gonna get away from it.
Well, that's true to a point. No, but the truth of the matter is people around me, right? When I
Mhm.
moved here to Texas 2 years ago, where I live, I was the first one to have a plot here. There was nothing but dirt. All my neighbors are from red states. Or blue states. They're all liberal douchebags. I mean, good people. And I've made it super clear to each and every one of them. You're more than welcome here as long as you're not a douchebag.
Right
and if
on.
you're a douchebag, don't talk to me because I will not be polite towards you. Because I have no filter and I just don't care.
Yeah,
And
fair.
facts don't care about your feelings, and neither do I.
so, yeah. Anyways,
Would you like me to stir that for you?
Yep. So, okay. So, I there's a couple things I'm gonna bring up before Psychward gets in here because he doesn't really care to discuss this kind of stuff, anyways.
He's a boner.
Yeah.
I love
So,
him, but
yeah. All good people. All good people. Um. So the other day, though, yesterday actually, I heard on the news networks of the internets that people are calling, um, Elon Musk and Donald J. Trump uh, Nazi fascist, and it's gotten to a point now, and it happened. It even happened on live TV where this a panel of news anchors, four of them being Republican, one of them being a Democrat. The Democrats said it, and the Republicans tried to counter it and kept getting argued with.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm going to put this in pure English format
Uh-oh.
for you. If you use the term Nazi fascist in the same sentence, you are illiterate and ignorant. And I say that not to be rude. I am saying that because that is the only definition that I can possibly come up with that makes sense to me on why you would put those two terms together in one sentence and call somebody that. Not only do you at that point deserve whatever legal consequences come at you, you deserve all of it. But if you work for any kind of company with any kind of facing whatsoever, at that point, you're probably going to get fired. You should. You should get fired. With any kind of public facing, you should get fired from it. Even as far down as to McDonald's. Like, I don't care. That's my take on it. You don't like it, you don't like the person that's running the country, get the fuck out of the country then. Get out. Pack your shit. I'll help you. I will help you get out. Like that's where I'm at now. I'm tired of it. You guys are all morons. And Maxine Waters, that's for
Oh,
you.
I love her.
Okay, that's for you.
I want to have children with her.
Yeah, she can literally suck a big fat one,
Whoa.
and I hope she chokes and dies from it. So
Wow, now let's not be like that.
I'm just saying. I'm just
right
saying.
out the gate, just
Uh,
full send. Oh boy.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the signal chat? Okay, night shot or hawk shot, night shot. Where am I getting night shot?
You been smoking that cracky
I
tacky.
apparently so. So what do I feel about the signal signal chat? Oh, here, let me tell you this. You know that signal chat has been out longer than what the public has had it, correct? Or did you not know that? If you did know that, it's because you were in the military and you know that it's been used for a long time. And I'm not just talking about, um, yes, it's been out for a while. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So then you know that it's been out for a while. You know that the military has been using it for a while. Uh, the military is not the only one that's used it, though. If the military is using it, so is the government. So, with that being said, it's end-to-end encrypted. Somebody messed up. Somebody messed up and got that person brought into this chat. Now, I do believe that the person that was brought into this chat didn't get anything, first off. If it's not classified information, if it was going to be public knowledge anyways, or it was public knowledge because Trump had already talked about it, that it had already happened. The guy sat on the information for weeks before he actually said anything about it, which was good. I'm proud of him for that. The dude's past is not a good one, and I'm gonna get everybody's input on this as well. Like you guys, all,
Yeah, I have an opinion on this.
Okay. So Lucian, you know about this as well, correct?
I'm looking it up right now. and
Okay.
I'm looking at it
Boy,
right
you
now.
really live in a secret little tunnel,
Oh my
don't you?
gosh! I love my rock. Okay, I love living under my
I
rock.
see that.
Everything goes over.
Right.
Nobody
Secret
bothers me.
tunnel.
I'm great. Exactly.
So
all right. So you
like
want
everything you're getting is like a raw reaction.
yeah.
So
Well,
you want my 50,000 foot at this or what?
hold on. Let me
All
put it.
right,
Let
I'll
me
hold
put it
my
up,
gas.
all the way out there. So if you know that, my camera looked like it was acting stupid. Okay, it's good. So if you know that the military and government has used it for a while, then you know that nobody's heard of Signal realistically, except for what I think it's like the last year or two. That Signal has actually really become predominant in the public space. So end-to-end
That's about right.
encryption, yeah, end-to-end encryption, the amount of information that's being put out there that can be stolen from Signal is absolutely zero. Their end-to-end encryption is fantastic unless you take screenshots. If you take screenshots of the chat, then that is different. but
I
they're
don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah, because I mean, it depends on if they're storing data in the middle.
They're
But
not.
they're not.
They're
They
not.
are
right.
not.
So in that case, it's like, okay, then you seriously just have to, one, have the information over the wire, and two,
Right.
be able to decrypt it, which is probably not possible because they're going to be using
The ghost is here.
asymmetric key encryption. So
Yep.
that
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to
Yeah.
me
So
if that's what they're doing.
yeah, exactly. So if that's my take on Signal, Daddy Bro, Daddy Bro, that direction.
So okay, here's the 30,000 foot view, real quick. It's really simple. It comes down to what you're talking about specifically with this Signal chat thing. Are you upset because you were told there was classified information given out? Because there wasn't. First off. Secondly, are you upset because it influenced or bothered the events that happened to the Houthis over there in the channel? Well, it didn't, because they all died. The bottom line is, this is a non-starter, red herring, bullcrap argument that people on the left are going, look at this, instead of paying attention to the other stuff that's going on.
Yep.
Like the fact that the FBI in the last 90 days have busted 3 of the top 10 most wanted people on their list. Like the fact that we took a bunch of really nasty gangbangers and stuck them in El Salvador for the rest of their natural life. Have a good time with that, kids. That's what's really going on here.
The finding out tax is coming about.
Yeah. Well, my favorite day of the year, by the way, is about to happen. It's called April 2nd, Tariff Day. Yay. Can't wait. Cannot wait. I have a boner for it, and I'm looking at you, Canada, you little bitches. We are done being pushed around by you hockey swilling morons. I am so, man, look, I don't want to get off of I'll stay on the subject. The subject at hand is simple. Okay, yeah, was it bad? Sure. It was an absolute faux pas. Whoever set this chat up should probably get a good kick in the balls. Period. That's what should happen. They should be, reprimanded at the very least, probably removed is probably what's going to happen. But to put it go, oh, well, it was the defense, what's his name, Hegseth or whatever, the head of the,
Pete
it's not him. He's not doing this, right?
Yeah.
The Signal chat, by the way, is put on almost every government machine at this point, has been for a long time, even though it's technically not legal there. And why would that happen? Oh, because that's the government. Have you not been paying attention to all the fun stuff that's been going on?
I mean, it's kind of, I'm just looking at some of these articles and reading and such, and it's like, oh my God, a supposedly secure line of communication was used to send secure documents to somebody they shouldn't have. It's like, what does this have to do with Signal at all?
Nothing. And there were no documents involved. It was a conversation that was had.
Yeah.
And he happened to be in the chat.
Okay, so yeah, and so it's like, yeah, this is just one person talked to another, seemingly didn't give any information.
Exactly. So, like I said, it's a red herring.
And now we've blown it up on social media for what reason?
This is what liberals do. Yep. They're tier two. They're tier two Karening this whole thing, and they're going to take this to the Council of Karens to try to get it to be a big deal, and it's a big nothing, just like everything else, because they have nothing.
Yeah.
Everything they do is emotionally driven, and it's not based on facts. They're going to blow it out of proportion, much like that's just like Chucky Schumer going on television telling everybody, oh, he's coming for your Social Security. Yeah, if you're 130 fucking years old, he's coming for it.
I'm sitting here and I'm reading this like CNET article of being like, oh, the app offers encrypted messages, but found the Russian aligned actors were targeting it. It's like, well, yeah,
they target everything.
It's like, what? It's like, do you think that they're not targeting everything?
What do you think the Chinese do? What do you think we do?
Like, what do we?
Let's
get our expectations straight here. Like,
that's not
pretty much every line of encryption is targeted by every country to ever exist.
But they're not gonna do that. That's not the game we're playing here. We're playing frame it Orange Man bad, frame it into the worst possible light, make him look like a dipshit. That's what we're doing here. And honestly, really,
you're welcome.
The bottom line here is you have to really suss out what's going on here. What was actually disclosed?
Nothing.
Well, no, you know what was disclosed? This is what was disclosed. The vice president of the United States said to somebody, hey, I really don't know if I want to bail out Europe again. That's what he said.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm with him. I'm 100% with him. How many times do we have to save your butts?
Mm-hmm.
How many? And when are you going to pay us back? Because at this point, you got problems. You know,
even from it's like from a non-political perspective, this just seems asinine.
it's petty. It's petty.
It seems it comes off of as petty. Just It's like, what? What?
It's extremely biased. And if you really look at it hard, they're making a mountain out of nothing. And this is what they're going to do every chance they get. They can't talk about Doge anymore because that hasn't worked. They got to be careful in the praise that they're heaping on these social, these people who are doing bad things to Elon stuff, because if they might get brought up on domestic terrorist protection charges or some stuff, so they're backing off that one because they don't want to be brought into the middle of that. And you can't keep complaining. The Orange Man bad thing has only gone so far, and people have had enough. We're done with it. And so what do? Oh, this falls in your lap and you go, oh, see, they're incompetent. Really? The FBI has just busted 3 of the top 10 in the first 90 days. The border is now closed. Not maybe, not sort of. It's freaking closed. You know how I know? I got friends in Border Patrol.
Yep.
They've been walking around like they've been taking Viagra for 6 months. Seriously. They're like, this one dude I know, and I'm not going to give his name because he's a good guy and I don't want to get him in trouble. He's been with the Border Patrol for nearly 20 years, okay? He's been at some of the toughest parts of the border. He's like, dude, in my 20 years, I've never seen it like this. Never. It's never been where we can actually do our damn job. And not only can we do our job, we make a phone call, and there's a drone overhead now. Yay. Now, I'm upset. Here I am being my extremist little self. You ready? Here we go. I'm going to put the hot take out because I got you.
Yep.
I'm upset because those drones don't have missiles on them, damn it. Look. You can say what you want to say. I promise you missile strike 1 or 2 of these cartel dipwads, they'll stop coming.
Yeah.
They'll stop because they don't want to go to Jesus or Allah or whoever the hell they believe in. They don't want to yet. They want to make some monies. And you can't make no money when I shoot a tomahawk up your ass. You become vapor. And I am for it. I am done. I keep telling you, the show's going to be called Tier 1. We need to get it done.
Yep.
I'm down.
All right. So Psych Ward, you kind of joined in a little late, but we're talking about what are the thoughts on the Signal chat? What are your thoughts on the Signal chat?
I don't know. I haven't even been following it, honestly. I've been too busy with everything else going on.
Good man. Yeah. Stay out of it. It's not worth it.
I've got way too much going on at work and everything else. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to even follow it. Nope. Not right now.
He's smart. He's smart. He's staying out of it. Seriously, it's not worth. Look, it's not. I blow a blood pressure medication thing every time I'm on this place. But
I've told you guys before, like if it's something political or whatever, like I want to know it in and out before I'm going to speak on it anyways. But on top of that too, like I don't know enough about it. I haven't even followed it. So I've got other things that are prioritized over the top of like what's happening. What's the hot topic like this week?
Yeah. Are you running that thing tomorrow in Plano? Are you involved in that?
Yeah. Well, it's tomorrow is the
We're
guy.
We're going to be live streaming it, by the way. So
are we?
Oh, okay. You are.
Did you talk to him?
No. I'm just going to take the laptop and live stream it.
Oh, okay. So he's got it all set up already to where you can actually stream from his tables. So the guy that's gonna run the game for us tomorrow, which is gonna be Twilight 2000, and he's running it based off of the Poland, like the standard like Poland, you're stuck in Poland and all that stuff. So anyways, he has offered us to use his tables as long as we help like promote his business or whatever for the time being. And then once we get like the 501c3 and all that other good stuff, then like obviously we'll talk more about it. But he has 3 tables that have 65-inch TVs already built into them. He's got one of the tables completely set up to actually stream with a camera that faces directly down on top of one of the screens, so you can see the maps. He's got every table has a computer that's attached to it that has I can't remember what graphics card he's running, but it's probably a year old, something like that. But it's a fairly high-end graphics card that's running on there, and he probably has 400 miniatures that are either war style miniatures or
I think it's more than that.
sci-fi. So yeah, he probably has more stored away, but that's what he had out because he had all the shelves or whatever. And I think he was saying he had like 400 that were available, like out and ready to use. So anyways, yeah, and he's been there for a little while now, but yeah, so he's offered us space to use that. So I'm going to talk to him on Sunday too about the Traveler campaign and all that stuff, and find out whether or not we're going to use his space or the other space of the Play-Doh area. So.
Right.
Or could you play in my space?
Oh,
Oh, sorry, I had to. I couldn't help myself.
that was a good one.
Yeah, right.
There we go. Hold
You got to
on.
get off that soundboard, dude. You're killing me.
No, that soundboard's staying now. So yeah, okay, all right. Well, I did mention that briefly that we were going to be playing tomorrow, and I'm gonna stream it.
Should be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd definitely be fun. But
What time are you doing this? I need to check this out if I can.
4 to 9.
4 to 9 tomorrow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try.
What time are we getting there?
Probably
noon.
3:30.
We're going to spend like 2-3 hours just building characters.
No, it's Twilight 2000, not Traveler. Traveler takes 6 hours for one character.
Good God.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's fun. It's a mini game in itself. So.
Well, so is Russian roulette. I still don't play. Just saying. Man, I don't mean to.
Sorry for the late response on that one. That was good though.
I think if you've never actually like gone through, I don't know if you've played it before or not, but if you've never gone through and actually done a life path before or whatever, it's actually a lot of fun, because the thing is, each person takes. So to quickly summarize it, when you do a life path, you say like, this is what I want to do, and you have like 3 choices, right? You're going to go, like I think we talked about it last time, but just really quickly, like you're going to go either into a career, you're going to choose a university, you're going to go military academy, and you kind of make that decision, like this is what I want to do, and this is kind of what I want my character to do, or my player to accomplish. Everything from that point on is a roll of the dice. And so whether you graduate or not is a roll of the dice. Whether you make it into the career you want is a roll of the dice. Whether you flunk out of that career is a roll of the dice. And like all of that builds the type of skills that you get. And you can become a prisoner during your life path career build. In the old Traveler, you could die during character creation, which meant you had to start all over again. So the new one, they've actually taken the death out, but there is a mod where you can put that back in. So... But anyways, so what you do is you take turns as you go through that. And so it almost becomes this like, oh, look what happened to your character, or holy crap, like you like succeeded at, that's awesome. Or you got this skill that like everybody else was trying to get, but nobody's gotten it yet. Like those kind of things like helps build the camaraderie around the table, I guess, if you will. And it also allows you to take time to figure out like, how does my character meet like all these other characters and so forth. But so anyways, but yeah, they say it's a mini game within a game. So
sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting.
But Twilight 2000 is I would say that's like life path light. It's not like the heavy like life path like Traveler would be. So it'll probably take us an hour to make characters tomorrow.
Okay.
That's about right.
Yeah.
For most things, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you're like me and you're stupid and you can't figure the shit out. You're like, I don't know what to do here.
Well, the good
know-
thing is this guy's ran a lot of travelers, so that helps too. Like, so having somebody there to lead us through it for the first that was really my intention of this was to, because it's not a free game. Like, I paid for the sessions and all that stuff, but I wanted to get everybody there so we could like run through it and experience it, you know.
Mhm.
So, and like see what is it like before we try to run it ourselves. So,
Right.
which is still kind of controversial on whether or not we're even going to. Well, we haven't even talked about this, but whether or not we are going to use it or not, because there is so much actual like combat and all that stuff in it. Like, does it become a trigger of itself? You know.
Right.
Anyways, we'll see when we play it tomorrow. It's supposed to be a survival game, not a combat game, but there is a lot of combat in it. So,
Mortal Kombat.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I love
Um,
it.
Right.
Just hopefully you don't start off with like a shit ton of radiation.
That would be my luck right there.
Yeah, right.
Just be the whole problem. The whole problem.
Right? Exactly.
So,
Oh damn.
okay. So, anyways, sorry, I keep getting messages. Let's talk about. Let's see. No,
No, don't do it. Please
why
don't.
not?
Because my head hurts and my brain's
Oh,
gonna explode. I'm gonna have a freaking heart attack.
You gotta- gosh.
You love to get my blood pressure up. I swear to God.
I mean, it's entertaining.
We're gonna watch like one eye walk
Oh,
away and the other one's gonna stay straight.
it's already there. Man. I got to get off of Facebook. That's what I got to do.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's so worth it. Just
People suck, man.
just like don't log into Facebook, don't log into YouTube, don't.
Well, I get
none
these
of
auto
that.
things now, so and it's how I stay in touch with people I really want to talk to. So
Okay, so then you're only allowed on Messenger.
well, yeah, but I still get these auto things from Messenger, and it sucks because some of these people are libtards. And don't get me. They're my entertainment usually. They're really amusing until lately. They've just become that. They've gone to the tier 2 Karen thing. They're trying to get on the Council of Karens, and I can't take them anymore. I'm just like, shut the up. You're stupid.
Is this like the Council of Ricks?
No, it's
Yeah.
worse. It's way worse.
Oh, okay.
So the Council of Karens, for those playing the home game who don't know, just create a Discord server for them. No, they've done what's called the federal government. Who do you think hires 27 CIOs? Who do you think does that? Who do you think makes 700 different programming and technology languages so none of the shit can talk to each other? Who do you think does that? Karens. Karens do that because it gives them a false sense of importance, right? It makes their job important even though it's not relevant. Look, the IRS had 1,400 or 14,000 people whose only job is to assign laptops and cell phones to people. Do you understand how stupid that is?
But
And I don't care how big the IRS is. You don't need 14,000 damn people to do it. 10.
So you want to know something else that's actually funny though?
Sorry,
that
I
came
don't mean
from
to get like this.
No, you're good. So you know what else is funny though? That came from the whole E. coli, the Elon Musk, E. coli, Elon Musk interview with Brett Baer.
What's
Whenever and it wasn't even him talking about it. This is the best part. So the government, the federal government, as in a whole, is about a little over 2 million people. Right.
Right.
There are over 4 million
credit cards. That's
Why?
stupid. Well, because people are exploiting it and they're using it illegally. And you know what? You're traitors. You are a traitor to this country because you're stealing from us.
Yeah.
And that is the bottom line. We have a
dumb.
way in the military to deal with these people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy behind that too is like I had a government issued credit card.
Yep.
If I put something on there that went over what I was supposed to spend,
Bet you had a good day.
Yeah.
like
Right.
you were in some.
That's
deep
because
shit.
you
Like,
worked for somebody who's doing their job.
Mhm.
You work for someone who's responsible.
But that means you only had one.
right.
See, if you do the math realistically, it's 2 per person.
At least. at least.
Mm-hmm.
I,
It
I
depends.
I remember going out to lunch one time with the group. Like we went to training and we were like allowed to do like we had a per diem and all that stuff. And because of the area we're in, we were allowed to spend a little bit more. And I think my per diem cost for the group, because I was the leader of the group, so I was allowed to take everybody out to lunch.
Right.
But when they added up everything, I was like $2 over the per diem we were supposed to be at. And like I had a sit down discussion with my command when I got back about it. Like super strict, like when it came to that stuff. And like if like we had a guy like miss a payment once on his like government credit, like that.
no.
Yeah.
So Hawkshot is. I understand what you're talking about, Hawkshot, but here's the problem: there is no way you have enough to justify that many more credit cards.
Right.
I get it. I understand it because I just for a little background, I worked for the federal government, not only in the Department of Defense, but I worked in the Social Security Administration. You want to talk about a fun time?
Yeah.
I can
And
tell you
not only that, but the one card. Okay. And I understand
rule
what
them
you're
all.
saying there. Yeah. One card is all that person should be issued
Yep.
to get fuel, to pay for
But they're not.
maintenance and stuff
And
like
he's right. He's right. They're not. They're not.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
he's
because
right.
the green books that go in the vehicles where have 2 card slots. They
Yep.
always
Yep.
have. Yeah.
And I understand that, but that's still not enough for 2 million. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it does.
And we talked about it a little bit before. Look, I personally am disappointed in Doge, and I'm going to put it out there publicly because I am in communication with people in this team. I personally went to college with 2 of them. Okay, I know some of these guys. I'm going to put that out there too. I'm just going to say that, and I have talked to them on the phone, in person, a couple times. I am angry at them because they are not going far enough. They need to find out where the money went, who's responsible. These people need to go to jail.
Right.
We need to know. And I personally want to know who made the damn legislation that created 27 CIOs. Who made the legislation that allowed these bureaucrats to make 700 different computer languages? Those people should be held accountable and put in prison.
Yep.
You know what else probably doesn't happen properly too though is like, so like when a GV hits like 60,000 miles, you take it back, get a new
Yep.
GV, and there's supposed to be new cards for that because they're attached to
They're not.
the GV, right? But how many of those cards are just floating around that aren't
Hundreds,
destroyed
thousands,
properly?
probably.
Yeah, like because they're supposed to be like put back through like for the Coast Guard we had the yeoman team and all that stuff. It was supposed to be put back through finance and all that stuff, and then they were supposed to destroy the cards and blah blah blah. Right? There's supposed to be a whole trail, but how many of those like just don't get taken care of properly? So like how many of that does like adds up to part of that, crazy number of credit cards that exist out there? And I'm sure it happens in other circumstances similar to that, but
And I'm sure, and I'm not going to sit here and try to defend it by no stretch of imagination because okay, put your hand up if you were tier 1.
tier 1,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
tier 1.5.
right? So all 3 of us know that tier 1s have credit cards for specific situations, but at the end of said mission, you give the credit card back with financial statements on what you
Yep.
had to use it for.
Well, let's
So-
be honest. Not all departments aren't created equally, right? And I understand what Hawkshot's saying. I get it. I totally get it. You're right. They don't treat it with respect, and that's because there's no consequences for the bullshit.
Mhm.
And it is high time that consequences. Look, I'm talking federal charges. These aren't state. These aren't local. This is federal. That's day for day.
Yeah.
Good luck with 5 years in prison for that. For theft is going to hurt.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
needs to happen. They need to, because there are consequences in the text. When you are given when you are issued a card like this, you are told in no uncertain terms, hey, if you misuse this card, you are going to be held accountable.
Mhm.
You're going to be responsible.
you know that for a while too they got away from using like because you always got like an emergency card, like
Yep.
Yeah.
hit the fan card or whatever to get you out of wherever you're at.
Yeah, I remember
They-
those.
They gotten away from that for a little while, and the commands were issuing like, and I think Sean Ryan has talked about this before too on his podcast, but they issue out like Rolexes, or they would issue out things that can be exchanged for items when you're in a situation,
Yeah.
to get you out of it without having to spend anything on like a credit card or whatever. But
Mhm.
because then it's a tradable item, right?
Yeah.
Anything that has like value that can be upheld like almost anywhere in the world is.
So there were a couple times in countries that we were in, and I won't get into the details of like where we were at because it's still technically classified information until it's not. But there were times where we'd get it put into countries and handed a stack of $100 dollar bills for the said country,
Yep.
and you would
Yeah.
get $100,000. Now, typically, $100,000 is all that they would give you max.
5 minutes.
Um,
Sucky.
Yeah, so you have that, you keep that money as an emergency slush fund,
That's
like whatever you need to do with it, you do with it.
That's
just
for
when-
hookers and blow, baby.
Yeah.
Woo!
So you know how many people got in trouble for that crap?
I
But,
wouldn't know anything about it.
Yeah. I won't say anything else either. But at the same time, though, you know, that was typically what happened. If you weren't issued the credit card though, because you know, there are countries that we went into where credit cards were you can use a credit card just like anywhere else.
Yeah.
But some of these countries where they wanted to keep a complete low profile,
It's cash.
okay, it's cash only.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's a whole myriad of reasons. There's a lot of countries that are it depends on the shithole you're stuck in.
Yeah.
They just don't use credit cards. That's
Yeah.
just the reality of it. And you better have a goat, baby, because you're going to be doing some bartering.
Yeah.
We did that a couple of times, and a couple of times they had like the gold bullion coins.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
just the coin
I've
that
seen
is
those.
worth, and then you can actually divide those up and all that stuff. And yeah, so
Yeah, you end up like a pirate with pieces of 8 and stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Right?
Did
It's
you
true.
know? Hey, I got this is a little off topic, but this I have to share because this hurts my brain when I heard about it.
Okay.
Did you know that there is a Russian shipping company that is charging people something like $12,000? You get on a ship, they drive you into an area off the coast of Somalia where pirates are, and then they let you shoot 50 caliber weapons at them. Are you shitting me?
That is amazing.
That's a thing.
That
I want to do that.
How do I sign up for that?
I know.
I
right?
know, right?
If it wasn't 12 grand, I would do it in a heartbeat. Are you
Guys, Guys, I know
Are they,
know
like,
what's going on. The
targeting-
the
are they,
first
like,
time I
targeting
get
American tourism? Like, what?
$48,000, guys. I'm gonna get $48,000. The four of us are gonna go
No,
on said ships.
we're all gonna die. is what's gonna happen.
You know how many times I try to get attached to the coast? Well, there's certain teams and they don't do it anymore. But there's certain teams that used to have the mock container ships that would
Yes.
purposely bait them to come out. Yeah, and you know how many times I tried to get on one of those teams?
Oh,
Like
man.
that would have
Little
been such a
VBS?
fun job. Oh man, that would have been an awesome
Little
job.
VBS is fun time. Y'all don't know nothing about that now. You might, Coast Guard guy, but
Just a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, no, you don't want
He
to be
was
the
that
first
tier
guy over the
6
rail,
foot.
dude. You,
He
you
was
know,
a tier 6 foot. That's what
yeah,
he
well,
was.
you know, you don't want to be the first guy over the rail in a Dow ship. That's just all I'm gonna say
Yeah.
about it. It's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
fun.
Yep.
Because
did
you
a
never
lot.
know which one of them's gonna pop out at you.
I did a lot of VBS stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Just
yeah,
make sure you're doing the double tap, baby. You don't want no zombie people. I'm telling you, man. 2 in the chest, 1 in the head all day long. Mozambique.
that was like that's a whole like we could have a whole discussion on that. That was a big
Yep.
thing at the
Yep.
very beginning of the war because of all the speed and all that stuff that they had the Republican
Yep.
Guard on and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because dude, I'm telling you, I could tell you stories. You would not believe me.
Yeah.
I've seen some crazy stuff. I'm
Some
like,
of those
wait a
some of
minute.
those guys were packed with PCP. Like they were like they were
Yeah.
yeah.
I-
Big
I want
holes. Big holes.
I've seen guys do some crazy stuff that they shouldn't have been able to do. Like destroy their body doing it. Like and continue to move around. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's good times. That's the stuff Nightmare Fuel gets made out of.
yeah.
But I will like when I saw that, I was like, oh, I got to tell the guys about this one because I'm like, really? That's so smart, man. And you leave it to the Russians that are like, in Russia, we
let
take ships over there and kill Somali pirates. What the heck?
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let's see here. Is
Is
the
the
guy
guy that reads the terms of agreements Valorant player bum UNC? What?
Bum Unk? What?
I don't know.
It's the guy that reads the terms agreements Valorant player Bum Unk.
UNC. I don't know what that is.
I know that Valorant but I don't player Bum Unk. I don't know who that is. I don't know if that is that somebody's name. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Moving on. If you could give me more information than that, because
Have
I
you
don't.
been having gummies tonight there, Big
Yeah,
Swizzy?
yeah. Give
I
me
want one.
give me more than just that, because I don't quite understand what you're saying here. So anyways, back to the topic. So Mother Russia.
Oh, dude.
And so
They're crazy.
Well, yeah, but did you see that Putin actually is kind of offended that
Oh,
Trump wants to do what he wants to do with Greenland?
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I know. And did you know? Like,
Offended?
yeah,
Wow.
he's offended. He's offended that
Because it's going to
because-
screw with their opportunity to take over parts of the Arctic. That's why.
yeah,
Oh well.
Because they're the Arctic, and maybe I don't know if you've ever been up there with the Coast Guard or not. But what people don't understand, the reason Greenland is so important is because of physically where it is. Right, there is a
Right.
stretch right above Greenland that is basically a north route, a north shipping route, if you will. And whoever controls that region is going to have a lot of ability there. You know,
Well-
you can port things, you can prevent people from coming in, that kind of thing. And you know,
There's
And it's
also
more
a
than
lot
just
of-
that though. There's also if you look at it, LRM, like nuclear LRMs will actually fly over or within regions of Greenland.
right.
And so therefore we actually have knowledge of what's coming and what's going just from Greenland itself.
Right. Well, of course.
That's what gives it
We have
that's
a
what
base
gives us
there.
that's what gives us our time frames.
Right. We have
Like
a base.
Alaska and Greenland give us our time frames on what to look out for.
Yep.
And so a lot of people don't realize that, but it's strategic.
Well, it's always been strategic. I mean, and people act like, oh, Trump's an idiot because he's trying to buy Greenland. I think it was Harry Truman.
Mm.
Maybe it was before. There's been presidents for years trying to buy this damn country.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
they always say, no, we don't want to do that. You know, however their accent works.
Well,
Right.
and it's part of it is like we're sitting here and it's like, you know, even on the civilian side of things, it's like, okay, so you're trying to tell somebody who has more information than you, who has classified information and experience that they're doing something that's dumb. It's like you don't see that there's a whole nother realm of information you
Well,
don't have to even make this decision
But
to
this
be
is
able to
half,
interpret what they're
this is
doing.
half the fun.
Yeah.
It's like,
And honestly, just watching Trump get everybody's panties in a bunch.
Dude, he
Isn't-
is the
it
best
is-
soul I've ever seen.
Yes, it is hilarious to me.
And he's like 100 years old. That's what's so funny about it. And the dude has got a mastery of trolling on the internet of all places. Look, first off, I don't know what crack they put in his water. He doesn't sleep. Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't sleep. Seriously, I don't sleep very much. This dude makes me look like Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah.
3 a.m. He's banging out the troll, you know? And these poor suckers, they're so upset they have to take time off from work. The newscast people are like, I have to take a vacation. It feels like it's been 6 months. It's been 30 days. Well, no, you're just a dumbass trying to make it to the Council of Karens, and you're not being very successful right now. I get it. But his trolling is legendary. It's so...
Yeah, but he's been doing that stuff before the internet existed. Like he's been doing that, but in a different way, right? Like
For 40
don't
years.
don't tell it. Don't tell all the secrets.
For 40 years, he's been like that.
and who else was using Twitter and all that stuff the same way he was before? Like he was one of the
Elon?
first people, like
Elon Musk.
Yeah,
Elon,
no, I know, but
yeah.
I'm just saying, like outside of that, like not
Like,
very many other people have used it.
No.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, okay? But there's a thing where Elon Musk, I want to say he's in Dubai or Qatar or something like that, and he's having a conversation with a bunch of Arabs. And the conversation turns to this, well, there's some people that are pissed off, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I don't fucking care.
Yeah,
And he says, let me say that again slowly. I don't
I don't
fucking care. Do you understand? And they're all like, oh,
Yeah.
he dropped an F-bomb in a Muslim country.
And that was only a couple months ago, too.
Oh, it
Like,
was
that
so
was
good.
Yeah, it was.
And he's like, I'm the richest man on the planet. Why do you think I
Yeah.
care?
Yeah.
Do you understand? I can make it rain here if I want to. You know, come on. Yeah.
The other thing too, to your point about what Trump accomplishes is also part of just who he is, right? Like
Yeah.
he didn't become the businessman he is
No.
today without like putting in the work, right? So
And he's nuts.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
what's
part of
even
his
crazier-
it's part of his work ethic. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
well-
Like this is who he is.
He
Yeah.
doesn't. Hey guys, just so you know this, he doesn't drink.
Yeah, he does.
He's a teetotaler. Okay, that scares me.
Yeah.
That really scares me. Look. When you have a very dominant A person, you know, this is a guy who pisses on people's feet just to let them know that he owns them. Okay, that's the kind of guy he is. On top of that, he doesn't do any drugs. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink. His only vice probably is McDonald's.
Yeah.
And
Big Mac.
and dirty hookers, whatever. I don't. I'm not going there. And I had to. Sorry, I feel better now. Anyway,
Well,
the bottom line is this dude does this sober.
there's an NDA for that. You know that, right?
Yeah. Whatever. And maybe if he did some drugs, he'd really open up his mind, and we would be on Mars by now. I don't know.
I assume though, like his rush is off of completing deals.
I
Yeah.
think his rush is more
That's
than
his
that.
thing.
I think.
Well,
it's-
I'm just saying that's part of it though.
not
right?
only
Like-
that, I think it's how many people can I piss off in the process of doing this deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably.
I really believe he loves that.
I mean,
Go ahead, Lucian.
you get into that whole side of like people and like business people, like even on YouTube, it's like there's no off switch. It doesn't exist.
Nope.
They're
And
about that entire life.
Yep.
What they're
Yep.
doing right now is exactly what they want to be doing. That's why you know the newscasters are like they need a vacation.
Well,
it's like no,
if you
because
look
you
at-
don't want to be doing this. It's like this is a job to you. This is not just a job to these people. Like,
If you look at Elon Musk, if you look at the guys that actually are on Doge, the guys that sat down with Brett Baird the other day,
They're all
these
billionaires.
are all billionaires, A-listers
It's
that have work ethics that are beyond those of your average McDonald's employee.
Yeah.
Like years beyond.
And what I love about the one dude was talking about how, hey, we're just bringing best practices to the government, and I'm like,
Yeah.
good luck with that.
One of them
Yeah.
was a rocket scientist, and he was like,
Literally
I
a
quit.
rocket
Yeah,
scientist.
he was like, I quit doing that so I could do this to help America. And I was like, what?
I mean,
Like,
they're not getting. What people don't know, these guys are not getting paid to do this. They're
Not at all.
They're not taking a check.
But those of us that are like I'm not at that success level yet that they've
You
reached.
will be. I know.
But the like I can tell you my schedule. Like I get up at 3:30 in the morning.
Yep.
I have my
Mhm.
first cup of coffee at 4. I do stuff before work even starts. Like I've gotten half my day scheduled out by 6, and then I'm like busy doing stuff, and like I eat lunch at the desk doing work. And it's not because I have to. It's because there's things I want to get done so I can work on the next thing
Yep.
and
That's
get it
how
out of
you're
the way.
built.
And
That's
yeah,
how
and but on top of that too, I still go to like my daughter's recitals, and I still find time to do the nonprofit stuff, and I still find time to jump on here with the podcast stuff, and but
Mhm.
at the same time, I'm making sure that all those other priorities are being taken care of too. So it's just it's part of the people that get there. It's part of who they are. Like,
Yep. And
Yeah.
you still have the manly beard. That's awesome.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I love
That's
it.
the one thing I did. Like, I have to go get it trimmed because the thing is, like, I'll let it go
That's
because it just
vice.
goes everywhere. Like, it goes everywhere. That's
I'm
my
with you.
vice, right? Yeah. No. My vice is TTRBG books
Oh, that's true.
and supplements.
We're just gonna start calling you the librarian. That's
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of,
you need to change that
speaking of-
background
spe-
though.
speaking of, I just
Oh, there it is.
got a
Oh,
new book
yeah.
in. So yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to look at, like, when you're thinking about, oh yeah, these guys, I mean, they're the tier one of the common workforce,
Mhm.
Yeah.
essentially. and so their work habits are insane. And I mean, I think that you have to have that frame of mind. You have to be business oriented, and you have to say, "I'm waking up every day at," like for instance, Chris Psych Ward wakes up every day at 3:30, and he doesn't go to bed until what, like 10 or 11 o'clock at half the time.
11:30.
Yeah, see, so
See,
You're
I'm exactly the opposite. I use the Deadpool method of success: maximum effort, minimum drive.
Oh yeah.
There are days, like, depending on what I'm working on, there are days where, like, I have to do something that requires a ton of, like, mental, like, just mental work.
Yep.
And I will literally go take a power nap before
You're
I start
talking to
work.
a liberal, aren't you?
But
That'll do it every damn time.
right. But no,
Oh.
like, before I start the process, though, like, if there's something I'm working on, it's like I have to get this right, and I don't have time to, like, correct something on it, so I want to make sure it's done right the first time. I'll go take a power nap really quick because I've got all my other stuff done that I need to get done anyways, right? Like, I'm ahead of the game at that point. And that helps. But outside of that, yeah, my norm is like 4 hours of sleep, something like that. Yeah, so that's the average that I run off of.
You're
But
doing okay.
That's dangerous.
Nah,
That is
that's
legitimately
nonsense.
life-threatening dangerous.
Listen here, Junior. I've been living off of less than 3 hours of sleep every other night for over 20 years. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Look, there's actually a genetic background for this.
There is.
And guess what?
It
You know
makes
how
up,
I
like,
know I
less
have it?
than 1% of the
Yeah,
world.
but do you know how I
Yep.
know I have it? My father was this way. My brother is this way. Everyone in my family is like this. The sleep is for the weak, and we're not pussies.
I
That's
can
it.
stay.
You
I
may
can.
be able to get by on that. I don't think the rest of the world can.
No, and I don't want them to. I
Without
want 'em to
health
sleep.
complication.
Yeah,
It's
no.
there's some quote that some guy was like sleep doctor. He has this quote is like the number of people in the world who can survive on less than 6 hours of sleep
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
rounded to a whole number is zero.
Zero. Yeah, and he's wrong.
Yeah, he's
Because
wrong.
I've been doing it for 20 years.
So
I can tell you that my average.
there's actually a study that that you have to go through when you go tier 1, right? So for us, you have to be able to stay up for 1 week straight without having a psychotic break.
Hoorah.
And no, and
I
this
see.
is true. This is true. You have to stay awake for 1 week straight
I do that in
without
my
having
sleep.
without
How
having
is
a
that-
psychotic
how is-
break.
Okay, so technical question first.
Sure.
Okay.
How is that even remotely measurable?
Well, they
Good.
keep them up.
Yeah, they
It's
keep
part
you
of the
awake.
training.
So
So do
part-
you have a rotation of people with you at like
Yes.
all times?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And the
Oh,
other
yeah.
part of that too is you have, like, you're still going to hallucinate. It's still going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you have to be able
when-
to tell the difference.
But you have to be able to know that
Yep.
you're having a hallucination. You
I've
have to
had
know
lunch
what's
with
true
Elvis
and
more
what's
than
not.
once.
Yeah. Right.
No, it's and so Hawkshot, good question. That was actually a great and brilliant question. What are the conditions of it? Okay, and are you
Both.
working or doing exercises? Both. At the
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to do both, and
It depends on the evolution.
Mhm.
But the idea behind it, so that you go through it through training, and then most of us that have served in tier 1 have actually had to experience that in
real life.
actual theater,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
So, but the idea is you get into situations where you literally get 30-minute power naps here and there, sleeping against the back of the other person that's there with you while 2 other people stay awake as well, right? And you might get lucky to have like a C-130 or something like that up ahead, like over top of you, watching out so that you get some cover so you can actually take that time
Yep.
to get a little sleep.
Right.
So outside of that, 3 days is a norm of not
Yeah,
sleeping.
at least.
At
Yeah.
least 3 days. Yeah.
It's and the thing is, look, when you're in a combat situation and someone is trying to murder you,
Mhm.
it is amazing what you can do.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And when
Like
you're in a so people don't understand. There are basically 3 types of people, I believe, in the world, right? There are what I call the normal people. When they come under fire, they curl up in a ball and they cry for mommy. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
That's a completely normal response. There are
Fight or
another group of
flight.
people. The second group of people go, oh shit, and hunker down, and they go, okay, I'm gonna remember my training and I'm gonna do what I'm taught to do. And then there's the third group of people, and
That
they
chuckle a
go,
little bit to themselves.
they just go, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. They stand the fuck up and they head towards the fire.
Yep.
And if you're that guy, man, I love you. We don't have enough of you.
Mm-hmm.
And there aren't many of them.
They're the ones that are cracking jokes while it's happening.
Yeah,
they're like they pop.
We're doing head counts and shit.
They're popping somebody and they go, hey, did you see that one spin?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, how many people actually? What was it? Was it Thor? I think it was Thor. Either the first one or second one, Thor movie, when they're actually counting out how many they took out.
Yeah.
I have been in a situation
there's games
just like that,
dude,
where you count out how many you've got.
Do you understand how a Tomahawk missile works?
Oh yeah.
Okay, a Tomahawk missile, generally speaking, it's a laser sensitive missile. So there's a special pair of binoculars. You push a little button on the top, and it creates an infrared thing that you're pointing at. Right, the missile will catch that infrared light, and it'll go wherever you tell it to go.
Yep.
They used to take scores on who could put it in the open window.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Who could take out a moving target?
If you go back and watch the original videos of, do you remember when they did the video of and I remember watching it afterwards because I was already in theater when it was going on, but the video when Bush said we're going to war, right? And and they were telling everybody you have 3 days to get out, and then we started blowing up bridges and all that stuff, right? It's keeping people in after that. So anyways, there's a video at night of watching Iraq before we went in and took over, and you can see probably 20 to 30 Tomahawk missiles that are literally just waiting. They're in the air. Yeah. In a
it's fucking Wile E. Coyote shit. What
do they call that? The pattern. They're in a pattern.
The AO pattern. Yeah.
They're in a pattern and they're waiting for your signal on where they're going to go.
They're literally just circling above head, going, "Hey, whenever you call my number, I'm ready to go." Boom.
That was probably one of the most insane moments going up the Tigris River, looking up and being able to see these things up in the sky,
and just knowing that someone's ass is grass.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing too, because you're not on the receiving end of that shit. And you're like, oh, somebody's day's about to really suck.
Whenever when you get that radio call that Angel's in the sky.
Yep.
When Angel's in the sky, oh my, it's a fantastic night. It's a fantastic night because you don't even realize what's happening until you hear gong, 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 gong. And then you're like, oh, what the hell is that? And then
it's calling.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's boom, 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 boom. And you're like, oh, that was fantastic. Do it again.
That must
There's been a couple of times where I've actually seen it hit the ground and then heard the firing afterwards because they're so high up.
Just make sure you keep your mouth open. That way you don't blow out your eardrums.
Yeah. Or you get special. You get a special.
Yeah, you got the headset. Yeah.
How many of you guys have seen an A10 in action?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Warthog.
Oh god, yeah. Warthogs those are another one of my favorite.
You should be
Warthog, the C-130s, Warthogs, and Apache helicopters.
You should be scared.
Those three right there are my favorite three because when you hear Warthog, and what's the best part is you hear, and then all of a sudden it's in a line. You're like, oh,
in the Navy, we use something called Sea-Whiz.
yeah.
That's a railgun, isn't it?
Yeah, it uses depleted uranium bullets.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing behind that is,
isn't the Sea-Whiz basically it's like a stationary on something that will just take out anything in the air?
Well, pretty much anything that comes at you. If it fires thousands of rounds a sec. It's insane.
The crazy part behind that, and you probably know more about this, Daddy Bro, than any of us do because of your background. But the Sea-Whiz, it shoots, what is it? I think it's 3,000 rounds a minute,
roughly. Yeah.
And on top of that, it counts it knows exactly where each one of those is heading and where they end up at.
The trajectory and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm guys. I got to jump off because I got to take care of the wife, and I got a stream coming up. So I'm
Okay.
gonna get out. It's always a pleasure. I'll talk to
Yeah.
y'all later. Just don't
Yeah.
blow a gasket. It's okay. I promise.
Yeah.
Get some sleep there, Lucian.
Yeah, we can actually end the stream here because we're tapping over the hour marker anyways.
Yeah. All right.
So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been a good time. We love sitting here with you guys. Thank you, Hawkshot, for being in the chat and in the stream with us. We love that stuff. I appreciate you guys for doing that and asking the questions and stuff like that. It's really good. It's really good. I appreciate it. So if you guys are in a depressive state, please reach out to somebody. Reach out to anybody that you can trust, that you can just pour your heart and soul into. And if you don't have somebody, talk to a stranger. Talk to me. Talk to Daddy Bro. Talk to Psychward. Even Lucian, he's here now. Any of us will be more than happy to hear from you. We want to make sure that you don't do anything that you shouldn't do. All right. So I know that Psychward down below me, he's got his 2 cents he wants to say.
The 988 press 1.
Yeah, 988 press 1. That gets you
There you
help,
go.
guys. Lucian, you got anything you want to say over here? Down that way. Yeah.
Don't suffer alone. Talk to somebody. We're social animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sleep.
Yeah. Sleep.
Sleep helps
All
a
right.
lot. Sleep
Yeah.
fixes a lot of things.
Yeah. Yep. All right. And last but definitely not least, Daddy Bro.
Guys, make sure you get yourself something good to eat. Get yourself something good to drink. Hug the people in your life because you never know how long you have them. Last but not least, if you need help, get help. Getting help does not make you weak. It, in fact, makes you strong. Take care, guys. Bye.
Yep. You guys have a